Which is the most spectacular encounter you've ever had? Can you think of one?
Well, there are quite a few. There's not just one, perhaps, but as a child or adolescent growing up here, I learned to get close to nature, to trust that we would be safe because, like the Bible says, when God created man, He gave us dominion over all creatures. Learning that, being raised in a in truly a Christian household and reading and understanding the Bible growing up as a very young child, it made a great impact on my ability to feel comfortable in the wild and feel comfortable with predators. So while growing up, I had very close encounters with alligators that I swam with bobcats, foxes, panthers, deer,
They
even
didn't do
bears.
anything. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't attack you at all. Bear with me. Don't leave. We're going to continue with many more questions for Marshall in the Everglades after the commercial break.
So going back to your previous question about the difference in being raised here versus in the city and different experiences. Being raised in the wild, you learn how to connect with nature and you learn how to communicate with nature in a way that living in the city you cannot possibly understand. And I explain this to people almost every day about the fact that we are in such a unique mindset and physical action daily where we interact with nature in a way that is truly a relationship. We have animals here that come and go seasonally, and they know us, and we know them when they come back. We have animals that also choose to stay here that would normally migrate, and they choose to stay here because they've made it their home year round, and they feel comfortable with us because we don't put pressure on them. We simply just create, a level of communication and trust. And so over the years, there have been numerous alligators that my mother swam with. One in particular we called One-Eyed Joe. And then many years passed, my brother and I began swimming in the canal at just 3 years old. And by the time we were about 11 years old, there was a gator that we called Smiley that stuck around for around 10 years, maybe 11 years. And Smiley was replaced by Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete was on a TV show called Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern. And we had a great relationship with Sneaky Pete for a number of years. I think it was 6 or 7 years. And then he moved on. And then Elvis came into the picture. And all of these gators that I mentioned were alligators that I say we because I'm a twin, my twin brother and myself would swim with these alligators. We could communicate with them. We could make verbal sounds and hand gestures, and they would respond in a way much like an animal, but a trained dog. And we
Amazing.
nicknamed
Oh,
yes,
cool.
we
Yes.
nicknamed alligators water dogs, and those water dogs have a demeanor and disposition much like that of a typical domesticated dog. And you learn their body language through their body. You learn their mindset through their body language and their posturing, and you can determine which ones are safe and which ones are not. It just takes a little experience.